Chris Brown recently tweeted the following. He said, "Just thinking, a crazy world tour."
You could have skipped this.
A crazy world tour would Beyonce, Rihanna, Bruno Mars, Chris Brown. 2 for 2. I guess that's what the name is supposed to be.
No.
Even though that's not it.
No, that's not it.
It doesn't even... Okay. And if y'all decide to do it without me, give me 10%. Here's the thing. Nobody is going to decide to do it without you, with you, together. It's not.
Because you named 3 headliners and yourself.
All right. Well, that was bad enough. I wasn't going to leave that alone.
Not to say that Chris Brown can't headline a show, but if you are talking about a show with Chris Brown, Rihanna, Bruno Mars, and Beyonce, Chris Brown is definitely the nigga going on first. Just being honest.
Okay, well, that's true.
And we all know that.
I agree with that.
But Beyonce, Bruno Mars, and Rihanna can sell out world tours without bringing nobody fucking else on stage. So why, when I saw that tweet, I was just like, Chris Brown is on some good shit. Because not only does it not make sense for the 4 of you to go on tour, especially considering your history with Rihanna, it doesn't make sense for any of you to team up with the other for a tour, because all of you can sell a tour on your own. Like, why the fuck would anybody ever I just can't even get my mind around a Beyonce, Bruno Mars, Rihanna tour, because that's what? Like, those are people who you go buy tickets for individually. This is not some up-and-coming artist who needs to open for somebody else.
First of all, out of the 4 of them, there's really only one of them that would get me to go to watch their concert.
Honestly, truly.
And it's just...
Y'all know I'm not going to nobody's show, but... Well, that's a lie.
I know.
I will go to Bruno's.
Yeah, you was getting ready to lie.
But you right, because I definitely don't... He already said 24 Karat Magic is coming back, and I'm going. But good. Beyonce is my highest priority. She's had them braids in for too long. I know what that bitch is up to. She's not sneaky.
Right.
And she's not low.
Right.
So whatever she about to do, I'm ready for her black ass.
Like, it's just...
Them braids been in for too long.
Yeah.
Y'all got to start paying attention to the signs, because they everywhere. Word to Chris.
They are.
And like I was saying, Chris Brown, nobody is going... Sir, you have a great amount of success and a great amount of talent. He does.
Yeah.
Chris Brown has those things.
Yeah.
He is very talented. What I want to see from Chris Brown is less of him comparing himself to other artists and more of him focusing on his own craft. Because where I feel like Chris Brown is starting to fuck up is that he's not growing with his audience. Your audience is not a bunch of 16, 17-year-old kids out here wilding and all this other shit no more. Like, they're parents and they work 9 to 5.
Like you are, right.
Right, like you are. And at some point, every artist has to say, okay, it's time for me to evolve in whatever way. And I feel like Chris Brown hasn't gotten to that, let me grow the fuck up with my music yet. Like, of course, he's made songs about Royalty Rain or whatever her name is.
Wow.
And so I'm sure it's everything. She's so great and all that. But even the album named after her was a bunch of sex shit.
That was weird. Like the title track. Like,
so I feel like Chris Brown's audience is waiting on his music to grow up with them the way Beyonce's did with us. Because there's a definite mark between when Beyonce was managed by Matthew and when she wasn't.
You know what he needs? He needs, like, God, I'm so sorry for making this comparison, but he needs like an anti. Like, I feel like Chris Brown needs an album that is like a vacation from the usual for him. You know what I'm saying? I think he needs to strip back a lot of the stuff that he was doing. There was no way I was going to listen to that double disc 45 long whatever.
I still haven't. You got me fucked up.
I can't do it.
I'm too old.
I think that he is a great performer. I think that he's got loads and loads of talent. And I feel like if for whatever reason I happen to be at a Chris Brown show, because I'm not going out of my way on purpose to go to a Chris Brown show, that's no shade. But I do believe that if I ever was at a Chris Brown show, I would be entertained, at least for a good portion of it.
I mean,
do I think that means he should be on a tour alongside of Beyonce? We can stop there. No. Do I feel like You know, do I feel like he should be alongside a Bruno Mars? Probably not. Definitely not the same audience. Definitely two different kinds of shows. Both got great audiences, loyal fans, you know, as far as I know. Both super talented, could put on a great show. Doesn't make sense to me together. Should he be performing alongside of a Rihanna? Clearly.
Let's just stop.
The fuck?
Let's just not.
Not.
Right.
So, like,
Clearly
this whole...
not.
And again, even like you saying, like, taking Chris Brown out of the equation, I don't want to see the rest of them together. Like...
It doesn't make sense.
For
There
what?
are three distinct artists who have like overlapping audiences, but still like there's the bitches who will stay up waiting on Beyonce tickets to go on sale, and that's not the same bitch who's staying up waiting on Bruno Mars tickets to go on sale.
Even when Beyonce went on tour with Jay-Z, like the On the Run tour, I remember before that I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna get my life to like a smooth 60%, like because I expected, and I love a lot of Jay-Z
I enjoyed
music.
the Jay-Z part, but it was like
when I showed up, I was surprised and I was glad that like I
You had a
enjoyed
good
the whole
time,
thing.
yeah.
All Jay-Z's sets, every part, like I enjoyed the whole thing.
but he didn't stay
But I
out
didn't
too long.
right.
Thankfully,
He knew what was going down.
We are here, especially all these gays and girls. We are here to see your wife.
And even for a lot of the performances that he was doing, she was right there dancing too, so we could listen to the music but focus on her giving us life. You know what I'm saying? So it was wonderfully balanced out. It made sense. They're married. Like, that made perfect sense. This...
This doesn't make sense. Everybody's just like, what strain of Coke? Are there strains of Coke?
I don't know
What
how
are you
Coke
doing?
works. I don't. I'm sure there are different types.
Yeah, it
But
didn't make no sense. I don't. Okay, all right.
niggas were flaming Chris. Like outside of like Chris Brown's fans and a couple of people that were just trying to be as fair as possible, like niggas were like, now how dare, like I saw niggas like refusing to give him a half a point for his talent. Like the answer is no, don't put him on stage
because
nowhere
it
near the
just
girls.
doesn't make sense. Chris Brown is already an established artist. Like, do you really want to open for Rihanna, Beyonce? No, I'm sorry. Let me do that.
I don't even think
correctly.
he doesn't think of this as being an opening anything.
Rihanna, Bruno, and Beyonce. You really right? Like
It's 2 for 2, not 2 for 1 and 1
But
free.
what does 2 for 2 even mean?
I don't know.
Rihanna versus Bruno and Beyonce. Like, why would those 4 audiences buy a ticket to the one show? What?
The audience gonna start boxing before you even get on stage.
Chris is nuts. People have been arguing with themselves in my mentions for days. Thank God for mute this conversation. I don't know what you niggas be going on
Oh my gosh,
about.
mute this conversation is
It's the only reason
Like-
I can be on the internet.